Shalom, shalom. Welcome back to Jerusalem. Good to be learning with you again. My name is Michael Lawrence. And of course, every week we are learning the weekly Torah portion together. This week, Parashat Yitro, the Torah portion of Yitro in the book of Exodus. Yitro, of course, is the father-in-law of Moses, and he plays a very, very serious, crucial, and interesting role in this week's Torah portion. But if we have a look and we open up again in the book of Exodus, chapter 18 at line 10, we see actually Jethro, that is Yitro in Hebrew, approaches Moses. He greets him and he says as follows. He says, V'yomem Yitro, and he gives a beautiful blessing from Yitro, from Jethro, about all the greatness that Hashem God has brought. Listen carefully. Baruch Hashem, asher etzel etchem miyad Mitzrayim umiyad Paro, asher hitzil et ha'am mitachat yad Mitzrayim. And if we translate that, blessed is God, blessed is Hashem, who has rescued you from under the hand of Egypt and under the hand of Pharaoh, who has rescued the people from under the hand of Egypt. It's a beautiful blessing. It's a blessing of praise and thanks, of recognition of God. And Yitro, Jethro at this time, comes to recognize that special role of God in the world and how he saved the Jewish people. He gives at line 12, at verse 12, sacrifices to God and sits Aaron, Moses' brother, and the elders of Israel sit with Yitro, with Jethro, the father-in-law. They break bread, they eat bread together. The very next morning, the father-in-law wants to see what the son-in-law is up to. What does he do day to day? And he goes to see Moses' work. And what is Moses doing? He is doing crucial work of judging the people, of resolving disputes, of dealing with those things which happen between people and resolving different kinds of issues. It is crucial work. It is the work of a leader, but it is overbearing. It is an extremely heavy weight for Moses. And straight away, like parents-in-law sometimes do, they're getting involved, and the father-in-law here is getting involved, but in a very wise, responsible way. And we see here immediately, chapter 18, verse 14, chapter 18 in Exodus, verse 14, we see something here. He says to him, why do you sit alone in this job? We'll read here, V'yomer, he said, Ma hadavar hazeh asher ata oseh le'am. Madua ata yoshev levadecha. Why do you sit alone, Moses? V'chol ha'am nitzav alecha min boker ad arev. You're sitting from the morning till the night. Moses, what is this thing that you do to the people? Why do you sit alone? It can't be done alone. And he says immediately, verse 17, chapter 18, the father-in-law of Moses said to him, Lo tov hadavar asher ata oseh. This thing that you do is not good, Moses. You will surely become worn out. You, as well as this people that is with you. For this matter is too hard for you. You will not be able to do it alone. And then, says Yitro, in a fairly long speech, he says to Moses, it's time to delegate. It's time to bring others with you on this derech, on this journey. And he suggests that Moses appoints leaders to thousands, leaders to hundreds, leaders to 50s, and leaders to 10s. Others who can work with Moses but below Moses and sort some of perhaps the more minor issues, while the major controversies and the major matters come to Moses himself. My friends, wise advice that Moses takes. And then, what does Yitro say at verse 23? Perhaps the gold at the end of the rainbow, the prize to come for taking on this wise advice. If you do this thing, Im et hadavar hazeh Taseh, if this thing that you do, Moshe, God shall command you, then you will be able to endure. And this entire people as well shall arrive at its destination in peace. If you do this thing, if you delegate, if you run this marathon together, if perhaps it's more of a relay race, if you join hands and run with those who can work with you, you'll arrive at your destination. The nation will arrive at its destination in peace. In the work that we do, my friends, in all work that we do, we must share the load. Moses could not do it alone. The great Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses our teacher, the greatest of all leaders and prophets, could not do this alone. It took his father-in-law to teach him that lesson, but he took it on board and he shared that load, so that in essence, for the good of the nation arriving at its destination in peace, Moses stepped back just a little, remained the leader, but shared the responsibility. My friends, may we always be blessed to have partners to run with, philanthropists, supporters, advisors, and wise folks around the world, so that indeed, on behalf of the people who look to us every day in the work that we do, we arrive at that destination, and may it always be b'shalom, in peace. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Looking forward to learning with you again next week. Thank you so much.